I'd introduce myself, but I have no idea who I am. I can tell you I'm pretty much a useless human. Can't do anything right. Thanks for your support.
I feel like Lindsay really gave us nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like she had like a single tear. I don't even think it fell. The horse neighed and then she was okay. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today, if you can't already tell by my attire, I'm doing a Christmas themed video and it's going to be episode 2 of script analysis. My first episode only went up like the other day, which is because I had loads of issues with copyright because they kept saying that it wasn't fair use and I was like, but it is. But it's gone up, so I guess that means it's okay. I never heard back from them, but it's up, so. But anyway, yeah, so this is episode 2. I know it's coming in quite quick succession, but I wanted to do a Christmas movie. I'm a real Christmas person. I love Christmas. I love Christmas films, but I tend to only watch a specific type, and that's kind of, you know, the good ones. I'm not a fan of like the cheesy Hallmark movies, I guess you'd call it. My dad loves them. He'll literally spend all of Saturday and Sunday watching Channel 5 Christmas films. I don't do that, but I was looking to see what Christmas film I could do. I wanted to do one that I'd not seen before because I'd seen Twilight, which was my previous episode. I had seen that before, quite a while ago, but I had seen it. So I wanted to do a film that I had not seen before. And the one that popped up that I thought, okay, yeah, was Falling for Christmas, which is a new one that's come onto Netflix, starring Lindsay Lohan. It's like Lindsay Lohan's comeback movie, I think. So the film is directed by Janine Damian, who is a completely new director. This is her debut work, so that's kind of fun. I love watching directors' debut stuff. I'm all about, you know, bringing in new people into the industry, including myself. The screenplay is written by Jeff Burnett, or Benet, I don't know, maybe he's got a little French in him, and Ron Oliver. I'll be honest, I've not heard of either of these writers, but when I click on Ron Oliver, it's saying that he's done a lot of TV, like episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps, that kind of stuff. Not the biggest load of writing credits, but that literally means nothing. It doesn't mean that they're not good writers. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm literally going in completely blind. And yeah, we'll see if it's any good. Oh my god, someone went up my nose. Whoa.
Good morning, Miss Velma. This is your wake-up call. The temperature is 35 degrees.
Goodbye.
Would you like me to set up your...
Oh, Mr. Kringle is soon gonna jingle the bells that'll tingle all your troubles away.
Okay, so first thing that I want to say, and this is like actually a good thing. So like I find that sometimes with like lower budget films and also Christmas films, these sorts of Christmas films, they tend to like at the beginning when it brings up all the credits, that it does like a thing where they just show like establishing shots, and it's like, this is really boring, and I hate it when films do that, because even though I get it, the credits aren't actually part of the script itself, the writer doesn't write in, okay, credits are gonna roll here, but I personally think like that's still part of the film. It's still the first like 5 minutes, 5 minutes that we're seeing, and those first 3 to 5 minutes are so important. So I'm glad that they're actually showing that the film's actually started and they're rolling the credits. So we're seeing Lindsay Lohan's character, who's clearly a bitch, and like we're already getting a feel for like who this lead protagonist is. So honestly, I'm happy. I think maybe I spoke too soon. And I understand establishing the setting is important, but like this much? No, it's boring. I'm sorry, it's boring. I'd rather see more of Lindsay Lohan's character and what she's getting up to. Because let's be honest, no one reads the credits. No one's sat there going, ooh, like Jim James is in this. Ooh, Katie Price is in this. No one's reading them. So like make what's on the screen far more interesting. You know what I mean? Anyway.
So just say no. Tell your father you don't want the job.
He flew me all the way up here in his private jet for Christmas. I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Wow. Good morning, Miss Belmont. I'm Terry Carver from Guest Services. Your father has asked me to work as your personal assistant while you're here.
It's just that I don't want to be in the hotel business.
Have you tried telling him that?
I'm gonna assume the person she's talking to is like a friend, a good friend, else he wouldn't be ringing. And she's telling him things that he would know, like she's saying, I don't want to be in this business. And he's like, have you tried telling him that? It's like, surely you would have just like discussed that previously. Like, you must know that. Especially because at the start of the conversation, didn't he say like, you know, didn't he say something about like, you don't want to be there? And she was like, oh, my dad flew me up here in his private jet. Like, he knows that. So why is she telling him that? Oh, because we need to know that. And she's telling us that, but it's in such an expositional way. It's just awkward. Like, I feel like they could get that in some other way. Perhaps even just a little bit later in the film. We might not need to know that exactly now. Or just the way maybe her attitude is towards the whole ordeal. We could kind of get this vibe of like, okay, she does not want to be there.
Dad, help me. I need to make my own mark in the world.
Okay. How are your socials doing?
Not good. I told you my accounts were hacked by that girl, remember?
Oh, right.
Oh, so he's like a PR person? Right?
So you remind me every day.
After lunch with your father, why don't we hit the slopes and snap a few ussies,
Post them on Instagram.
I thought you wanted to keep our relationship private.
Well, maybe it's time we let the world in on it.
Oh, they're together. They're in a
And
relationship.
it'll prove to your father you could have a career as an influencer too.
Yeah, I just want people to remember me for more than my last name.
Wait, she's trying to tell us what her kind of goal is, I guess, at the moment. Her current character goal is that she wants to be remembered for more than just her surname. I feel like it was a bit on the nose. I just want to be remembered, like he's your boyfriend. Like, he knows that, just like he absolutely knows that you do not want to work in the hotel business. So why are you telling him that? Like, I feel like everything she's telling him is just like, he knows that. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just slightly lazy script writing. It's like there are other ways to work those things into the story. And it's good to get the goal, like, there ready at the beginning, but just not so obviously. You know what I mean?
Well, you have an incredible place here, sir. But you know, not everybody can afford world class. Studies show that 70% of beginners learn to ski at these smaller resorts.
Like yours.
Exactly. And then as they become more accomplished and better skiers, and they move up to the mega resorts like this one.
And you think that I should invest in your lodge in order to make sure that this keeps happening, is that correct?
More or less, yeah.
Russell, I wish I could help you, but I have my own investors to answer to. I'm sure you understand.
Whoa.
Thank you, dear.
I feel like that was a lot more of a natural way of getting across some exposition. Like, so we know a little bit more about his character. We know that he's a ski instructor, owns a lodge. Because it's done in like a business transaction, the kind of information that we're finding out doesn't feel like it's exposition, because like the character he's talking to, you know, isn't going to necessarily know those things either. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, I felt that's a better way of doing that.
Now I'm in the lounge by the fireplace. Oh, hey. I'm wearing Evangeline. Oh my god!
I am so sorry. I didn't see you there. Coming around the corner, then we just kind of wham a chocolate thing. Is everything all right?
I'm a little flustered, but thank you.
Dad!
Oh, but this local yokel just...
I keep thinking she's calling him Dad, but it's Tad, I'm assuming. Stupid name. Yeah, he's really irritating. This freeze frame, the look on his face, is how I feel watching this film.
Come on.
Everything all right?
Hey, Jake. Trying to get this one going, but it's not happening.
Okay, just leave it in the shed and I'll get to it later.
You got it.
Would you do me a favor? Would you put in a good word with Santa for me? I need all the help I can get.
I take it things didn't go well.
Belmont was literally the last resort. I mean, if the rest of the season's this way, I don't
We
think...
just need a little patience.
What we need is a miracle.
Haven't you heard that? Christmas is a time for miracles.
Well, it's just that I just don't want to disappoint you.
I don't think you could do that, honey.
I remember her perfume and her laugh. How she used to brush my hair. This hotel reminds me so much of her. I still miss her.
Ooh, I didn't like that bit of that dialogue. I still miss her. Like, obviously.
promised your mother I would take care of you.
You have. You've given me everything I've ever wanted. Oh, I love this song. What a right time, it's the right time to rock the night away.
Okay, so I get it. That's like a reference to Mean Girls, right? Because in Mean Girls, that's what they sing. I'm assuming, because else that's really bloody random.
I got hot cocoa and fresh gingerbread cookies. Are you two ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Is this thing safe?
My friend, this fine piece of craftsmanship has served the North Star for generations.
I wanted to bring us together.
That is an ugly ring.
Sierra Belmont.
Oh, Todd! Todd, it's too big, sweetie.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. You have to keep it a secret or it won't come true.
Yes, I've been married for
So it's a touch slow. Like, I'm waiting for something to happen. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, come on. Like, how far in are we? 18:30, so 18 minutes. Has an inciting incident happened? Not really, I don't think. It's all been like normality so far. Like, that moment hasn't happened where it propels the protagonist into adventure. And 18 minutes is quite a long time to not have had that yet. Like, especially because it's only an hour and a half movie. So really, that should have happened by now. But we'll see.
I love you, Grandma.
Let's put it up in that branch. Ready? Oh, very good.
Looks like the weather's changing.
Take me back to the hotel.
Okay.
Dad? Dad?
Oh my god.
I got you!
I'm slipping.
Hold on!
Is she gonna die? Can you imagine she's dead? Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh Christ. Oh, he's gonna find her.
Hey, hang tight, guys.
They're so pissed off, and it's like there's literally a dead woman.
But we have procedures to follow when we're dealing with a Jane Doe.
A Jane Doe? I am not a Jane Doe.
Okay, well, I don't know what else to call you. You got no identity, no money, and no place to go.
I have a place. I mean, the lodge. I mean, made some cancellations. She could stay with us.
And you are?
This is Jake Russell. He's the one who found you.
Does he look familiar to you at all?
No. He is definitely a stranger. And I'm not about to follow him to some murder cabin in the woods.
Jake.
What happened?
Hi. There was a wild hairy beast out there.
Okay, I'll check it out.
So obviously we've had the inciting incident, which was them falling down the thing and then him finding her. But like I said, that didn't happen till like 20 minutes in, which is just, I just think it's a little bit late because I kind of have lost interest and I'm still not overly hooked. I'm like, okay, she can't remember who she is. What are the stakes of her, like, do you know what I mean? What are the stakes in this situation? There aren't any. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like there should be something that means we're rooting for the characters. But obviously she's not an immediately likable character, which isn't a problem, but it obviously makes it harder to root for her. So I really kind of wish there was some sort of sympathy created around her before this kind of happened. because I'm struggling to connect with her as a protagonist. And I'm struggling to stay interested, to be honest, but we'll keep going.
One stuck in your face.
Oh, I see it.
It was just a dream.
Quite like how that mirrors the very, very beginning of the film, of her like waking up with literally the exact same shot, the same framing with the mask on. I like how that kind of mirrors that. I think it would work better if, I don't know, normally you have like mirroring moments like that when like the character's gone through like significant change and then it's kind of showing the before and after. But I still like it there, like it shows the kind of the difference in the situation that she now finds herself in.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. So, what are we supposed to call you?
Good question. I don't know. You have any names you like?
Well, you could have one of theirs.
Sarah. I like that one.
Okay, Sarah it is.
Oh, is this your mom?
Yeah. She died almost 2 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
She died almost 2 years ago, but in that picture, that girl doesn't look that much younger than she is now. And I feel like when you're that age, you change really quite quickly. Like 2 years is like now, like 2 years from now, I'll probably look pretty similar to the way I look now. Whereas like at that age, you change, don't you? Like really rapidly. So I feel like it's a little bit unrealistic, but hey ho.
I don't even know who I am. Nothing's weirder than that.
Well, sometimes I talk to her picture.
I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's beautiful.
I'm really not a fan of this dialogue, and I don't think it's Lindsay Lohan's acting, because I actually think she's a very talented actress. But I feel like she's not got that much to work with. I mean, she's not a phenomenal actress, but she was big for a reason, and that's because she can act. But I just feel like the dialogue's a little bit stiff. It doesn't feel completely natural. A bit awkward.
Well, she said she didn't want to be disturbed.
That was almost 24 hours ago. But you didn't sleep here last night.
Are you sure? Maybe she made the bed.
Miss Belmont, make the bed? Not in this lifetime.
Sierra, can't wait to take you away. Love, Tad.
Yeah, we'll leave a note, head out on foot. It's just a couple days hike to the pass to get to the road.
Days?
Yeah, depending on the weather.
Ever actually made a bed, dear?
I don't think so. Please don't be stuck.
May your train be filled. Wish you the happiest, the happiest, the happiest, yes, the happiest.
Do you remember your mom?
Yeah, I think I do.
Abby! Oh! What happened here? What is this?
It wasn't me, Dad.
Look at this mess.
I'm sorry.
Is this another reference to a Lindsay Lohan film? Because that similar thing happens in Just My Luck. And I'm not like an avid Lindsay Lohan fan. I probably sound like I am. But her kind of films were coming out when I was like growing up. When I was like a young teen slash child. So I watched a lot of her stuff. And that happens in Just My Luck. So I don't know if this movie is just trying to give us loads of references to Lindsay Lohan's films, or if it's just a coincidence.
Great. This is the last thing I need right now.
Balthazar. Nice to meet you. I'd introduce myself, but I have no idea who I am. I can tell you I'm pretty much a useless human. Can't do anything right. You'd think I'd have some sort of skill, wouldn't you? Thanks for your support. Now, let's see if I can manage to fetch some wood.
Thanks for your support. It didn't do anything. I feel like Lindsay really gave us nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like she had like a single tear. I don't even think it fell. The horse neighed and then she was okay. That was so odd. I'm struggling with this just because I'm bored. And I don't think the acting's great. I don't think the dialogue's very good. And I'm not a romance person. Like I don't watch romance movies. So I'm just not particularly interested. And I don't think they're not showing much of a connection between her and Jake, which I'm assuming that obviously it's going to go in that direction, that they're going to end up falling in love. And what, we're 40 minutes in. I don't know. I suppose maybe that's not that late in the film, but I feel like I want like immediate chemistry between the two of them, and so far I'm getting nothing. And obviously they're painting Tad to be this complete idiot because we don't want her to end up with him. You know, that's what they want the audience to think. You know, they want the audience to root for her and Jake. But I'm not getting any chemistry at all between them, at all.
Wow, this is really pretty.
Any of this ring a bell?
No, nothing.
Look at this.
It's beautiful.
I like that they are showing, like, that's like a good mirroring scene in a sense of, obviously it happened earlier on and she was like, oh, close the curtains, and now she's kind of gone through some change, that she's opened, there's some character development, that she's now opening the curtains and she's waving at the people outside and, you know, like showing that the character is, you know, going through this like growth. So that's a really good, like, I think example of like mirroring two scenes, whereas the bed scene wasn't as sort of, didn't have, I just burped, that was really gross, didn't have that like a solid purpose. It was just kind of there and it was nice and it was a nice kind of juxtaposition, but I think that's a better example of like a good mirroring scene.
1, 2, 3.
Hey! There you go, hand-eye coordination.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot more chemistry now between the two of them, which I like. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that's now starting to happen. I was just thinking though, I'm really like wanting just some more conflict, like a reason to keep watching, because if I wasn't filming this video, I probably would have turned this off, because I'm just like, I just don't care. Like I really don't care what happens. Like I feel like, you know, Christmas films, they normally, like, you know, I'm trying to think of now some examples of Christmas films that have conflict. Christmas with the Cranks, the conflict is obviously that he wants to ditch Christmas, go abroad. She doesn't, their daughter's coming home. Conflict. The Christmas Chronicles on Netflix, which I love. That's one of the most recent horror films, Christmas films that I really enjoyed. Obviously, you know, they need to find Santa's reindeer, else Christmas is cancelled. Conflict. Jack Frost, you know, like his dad turns into a snowman. If you've not seen Jack Frost, such a good Christmas film. Fucking weird, but really good. He needs to get his dad, the snowman, somewhere cold because he's going to melt and he's going to lose his dad again. Conflict, and that's like real emotional conflict as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what the conflict is. I'm assuming it's that the lodge doesn't have much money in it, but I kind of wish they'd make more point of that. Like maybe the lodge is missing out on money, and that's the fault of Lindsay Lohan's character's dad. Like obviously he didn't invest in it, but like that's not kind of like, that's not evil. That doesn't make him a bad guy. That doesn't make him the antagonist. So maybe if her dad was the antagonist and he was kind of, maybe he wants to get, like maybe if he wanted to get rid of the lodge because he wanted to expand his hotel, and then obviously Jake's trying to hold on to it because it was his wife's, and you know he loves it and he wants to keep it, but he's really struggling to keep it open. They're not getting enough business, and then obviously unbeknownst to him, Lindsay Lohan's character, I still don't know her name, she is actually the daughter of that guy, and that's kind of where the conflict comes from, and then that could actually make for a really interesting end when obviously she gets her memory back. I'd rather watch that, and not just because I wrote it, like, because I just think it's a bit more interesting. There's a little bit more going on, a little bit more like, oh, what's going to happen? I'm just so uninterested right now, in all honesty. I could fall asleep in this comfy chair with my dogs on me. I could happily snooze. But I'm going to try and stay awake for you, okay?
Thanks for staying at the North Star, and Merry Christmas.
You too.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
How's it going?
I just finished my first one.
Wow. Okay, pretty good.
Mistletoe.
You are standing under the mistletoe.
Yes, we are.
You know, maybe we shouldn't do this. I mean, what if you're with somebody?
That would be unfortunate.
I just really don't give a shit. Like, you know, when you watch a romance film or a Christmas film about romance and you really want them to get together, you really want them to, like, have that kiss and, like, ride off into the sunset, like The Holiday, Cameron Diaz and Jude Law, and even Jack Black and Kate Winslet, probably even more so, actually. You really want them to get together in the end. And the same with In Love Actually, when you've got, like, Hugh Grant and, I cannot think of her name, but the girl who plays his assistant. You really want them to get together. Colin Firth and The Portuguese Woman, you really want them to get together because you can see that they're just so in love. I just don't believe it. They're not convincing me that they're in love. I'm just like, okay, like, you're still under mistletoe and you want to kiss each other, but it's like, I want to see that you're in love without it being inherently, like, romantic, what you're doing. I don't know.
Morning.
Good morning.
I have an idea on how we can help the North Star.
Okay.
I've got the contacts for almost every guest we've had over the past 3 decades.
This is perfect.
What's it for?
A North Star fundraiser.
Like, I like that, you know, she's obviously developing loads as a character, but what I actually think is quite interesting, what they've done with the character, is that she started off saying that she's not interested in running a hotel, yet that's almost what she's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's becoming that person that she was like, I don't want to do that, I want to be like an influencer or whatever. But then she's also fulfilling that goal of she's becoming someone that's not just associated with her dad, like she's doing something on her own. So I actually really like that. I think the character development is actually quite clever in that sense. So yeah, that's a good thing about it, I guess. Doesn't make it any less boring, but it's good.
I asked you to take care of her while she was here.
Well, yes, but she and Mr. Fairchild went skiing the other day, and that's the last time that I saw her, so...
What do you mean the other day? Are you telling me that you haven't seen my daughter in 4 days?
Well, no, but I just thought that she and Mr. Fairchild wanted a little private...
Well, if they went skiing like 4 days ago and you can't get hold of her, surely he would have called, like, I don't know, ski rescue, mountain rescue, whatever it's called. Like, that's really stupid and so dangerous. Like, that could have been another way of actually having a little bit of conflict if there were, like, rangers looking for her and we as an audience are like, no, don't find her because she's falling in love and she's becoming a better person. Do you know what I mean? Like, that might have actually added a little bit more to the story. But no, this idiot has just not done anything, which is really weird.
We could not afford a honeymoon.
Jake, you gave us the biggest suite in the place for the weekend. Champagne and everything. And you wouldn't take a dime for it. So...
We want to give you this.
Thank you for this. Thank you.
Summit Springs Town Council has put forth a proposal to have the North Star Lodge declared an historic site.
Now
That should help a bit with funds and grants for renovations and so forth.
Okay, so there's the conflict resolved and we've still got 22 minutes left. The conflict started like 20 minutes ago and it's already ended. And they're obviously gonna end up together. I just can't be arsed.
A big thank you to
Sierra! I found you at last, darling! Look at you!
I've searched and I've searched. There you go. Reunited for Christmas.
So your name is Sierra?
Yes, my daughter.
Sierra. I remember that name. Dad.
Yes. Yes, honey.
See, like, this would have been so much more interesting if Mr. Belmont was the villain and, like, he was the one trying to destroy the lodge. And then they found out that she was his daughter and Jake was like, do you know what I mean? I thought that would have added some tension, some, like, well-needed conflict.
Oh, I was skiing and I fell and I hit a tree and then I ended up here with you, Jake. With you.
I have no idea what's transpired here, but clearly you've taken very good care of my daughter, and I appreciate that a great deal.
Let's get you back to the hotel, okay, sweetie? Nice hot bath.
See, so they could, like, right, so here's my rewrite. He could be the villain, Mr. Beaumont, or whatever his name is. Wants to destroy the lodge because he wants to land something, I don't know. Or he wants to, like, use it to expand his hotel or something, because they're obviously nearby. And then this happens, and then when they meet at this point, there's all this, like, drama, like, oh my god, like, you're his daughter, like, he's trying to destroy my life. But then, because Mr. Beaumont is so, like, grateful that Jake has looked after his daughter so well, he gives him, like, the money to keep the lodge open, or he doesn't destroy it. Do you know what I mean? That's my rewrite anyway.
I want you to go.
I'm so sorry, sweetie. But I have to go home.
Come on, honey.
Okay, so this is a lot. I think this mirror is also quite good of, like, you know, she's kind of back where she started, but we know that she's a completely different person.
Belmont, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just helping the housekeepers out a bit. It is Christmas after all. Before I answer any questions, I would like to thank Jake Russell and his family at the North Star Lodge. They took very good care of me at their charming ski resort, and I highly recommend it. That's the North Star Lodge.
Miss Belmont, what are your plans for the future?
Let me answer that by showing you this.
Miss Belmont, just one more question.
Isn't it beautiful?
When Grandma and I were at the wishing tree, didn't make a wish for myself. Made it for you, Dad.
You gave your wish up for me.
I wish for you to find someone to love. You take such good care of all of us.
I feel like that's supposed to be, like, a bit of a, like, oh moment, but it's like that's so made so obvious at the beginning that her wish is, like, flies away and then it turns into a storm and blows her off the hill. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's made so obvious, and I feel like therefore this bit isn't as lovely because it's like, okay, it's cute, but, like, we already knew that, like, didn't we? So
I think you should tell her. Go get dressed. Go tell her. Let's go.
Okay, all right.
About the job.
Don't worry about the job. It'll be here when you get back.
That's the thing. I don't want it to be.
I don't understand.
Vice President of Atmosphere, you just did that to take care of me.
Well, maybe a little, but...
And I love you for it. And I'll always be your daughter. I need to find my own way.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Tad. You're a great guy, but I'm just not ready for this yet. I thought I was, but I'm not.
I think what maybe would have added a little bit more, like, tension to this, because this is, like, kind of the climax of the film, isn't it? Not so much the lodge might close. This is the climax of whether they'll be together or not. I think maybe if she actually, like, didn't think Jake liked her that much, or he kind of let her go and was like, you know, and she thought, oh, maybe I was sort of falling for him, but he wasn't falling for me. So she is going to kind of go through with this Tad guy, see if the marriage works out. And then Jake arrives, you know, all of a sudden it's like, I love you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would make a little bit more of a dramatic climax than just like she's already basically broken up with him and then he's gonna come along and they're gonna get together, and it's like, okay, I don't really need to watch the end of the film now. Do you know what I mean?
Good luck to you.
I am so sorry, Mr. Fairchild. Oh, and at the holidays, too.
Oh. Hey, Terry,
Yep.
what are you doing for New Year's?
Hello? I knew he was a bit. Do you know what I mean? I knew it.
I just wanted to say thank you. I just found out the North Star is sold out for the rest of the season.
Really? Sold out, huh? Sounds like you might need some help running the place.
That would be amazing.
Well, my dad did also mention investing in the North Star, but I didn't think you'd be interested.
Right.
I did say I would try to convince you over the holidays. That is, if you wouldn't mind spending them with me.
Is that the end? They have been in that pool the whole film. Okay. Like, I was so bored. I genuinely felt like nodding off quite a couple of times. Yeah, that is not for me. Good things about it, character development. There was good character development. But I genuinely think that might be the only thing, because the plot didn't really have me hooked, and I think that is mainly because it just really lacked conflict. I've already gone over my kind of how I would have rewritten it to add in a bit more conflict, because I felt like there needed to be like an antagonist of some sort. I think the inciting incident should have happened a little bit earlier because I was getting a little bit bored. I know it's a bit more difficult when you're introducing two characters normality, but I still think it could have been done a little bit quicker. And yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't have that much to say about it. I was bored, and that's not a good sign. It didn't make me feel Christmassy in the slightest, although I do want to go to that lodge. That lodge looks absolutely incredible. That's that. I don't know what else to say. I don't think this will be my last video up before Christmas. I have a reading vlog thing to upload, but I will say Merry Christmas anyway, just in case for some reason that video doesn't go up. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful New Year. I hope you can spend it with your family, and have a very, very happy time. Yeah, see you all in the next video. Bye.